The ACC, I'll give you the details, right? And I'm 2 days this has been percolating. I've been seeing if I'm going to simmer down on it because sometimes that happens, right? You get upset, you give it some time. It's not that bad. The ACC changed their men's basketball schedule format. They used to have multiple teams that they played every single year, home and away. Each team had multiple, right? So if you had 2-3 rivals, that was taken care of. With the addition of the Stanford Cal SMU, they want more non-conference games. They've limited it down to just 18 conference games. And the structure we were told weeks ago was there will be one primary rival for each team. That team you will play twice, home and away, every year. Then there will be what I called a secondary rival. The secondary rival.
They called it variable partner, I think is what they used.
And primary partner and variable partner was their term. I chose rival, and you'll hear why in a second. The variable partner is another team on any given year that you will play twice, but variable, it could change, right? It's not each year. It's not guaranteed to be the same team year over year. I took this as they were going to rotate the teams that didn't have two rivals so they would get a variety. And if you had two obvious rivals, they would protect those games nearly all the time. And of course, because we're here in the Triangle, my first on the display, right? The thing that pops up onto my front porch is a team like UNC or a team like NC State, because there's no way that they weren't going to have Duke and UNC as the primary option, right? Those two are going to play home and away every year because it's way too valuable for money. Then there's UNC, Carolina, and State. And I thought, okay, well, that will be their variable partner every year, and it'll only be variable in name because actually UNC is going to play Duke and State home and away every year. Turns out not the case. The actual schedules came out. That's all just format talk. The actual schedules came out, and UNC is not playing NC State twice. NC State's playing Virginia twice. UNC's playing Syracuse twice. And they're not playing each other twice. This is the first time in over 100 years. This is the first time in over a century that State won't be visiting UNC during the regular season men's basketball schedule. The Dean Dome will not be hosting NC State for the first time since it was built, which, by the way, my grandfather laid the concrete. Literally built the foundation of the Dean Dome when he was down here working for Carolina Steel. Since then, I think it was like 1919 was the first time those two rivals played men's basketball. UNC hosted, and every year since then, State has made the long trip across the Triangle to face the Tar Heels, and it's not happening. I don't understand. Actually, I do understand. The ACC doesn't know what they're doing here. That's what the part I understand. They don't understand how badly they're messing this up. They're forgetting the secret ingredient of college sports, which is emotion. Do you know what the difference between professional sports and college sports is? Because the difference is they're limited now, right? It used to be players got paid. No, now they both get paid. It used to be the corporate presence. Well, now you need corporate presence on both sides, right? The stadiums are all going to be named after sponsors, and it's all of that is going to be the same. Do you know what the difference is? It's the emotion. It's the emotion. It's the rivalry. It's the playing for your colors. It's the singing the alma mater. It's the fact that students and alumni can say we when talking about the team. You don't get rid of rivalry games because it bubbles to the surface all of that secret ingredient I just mentioned. You don't get rid of rivalry games. You build them up. You don't put a new schedule format in place where now every other year you get to host one of your rivals. You put it on a pedestal. You change the rules so that every team has like a random Tuesday where no one else in the league plays and they host a rival. You don't bury them. You showcase them. What does ESPN want? What does your media partner want? Trust me. Well played. But trust me, as they try to make dollars, they're not clamoring for more State Virginia games. They're not. They probably are clamoring for more State at UNC games. They make a whole rivalry week out of rivalry games, right? Give them more of what they want. It's confusing because here's the thing. There's also in the format, I failed to mention this, there's going to be one team a year that will rotate that each team won't play, right? So this year I think State's not playing Cal. Next year they might not play the Georgia Tech. We're just whatever, right? There's going to be a different team one every year that you don't play.
Like, sorry, you don't have to go to SMU.
Fine.
Yeah.
How about this? This is going to be crazy, okay? 2 random teams you don't play. Whoa.
What?
Whoa. I mean, and I also need to clarify, right? I said if you think on things that you'll go better. Because my first solution to this was play them in non-conference, right? My first solution to this was the ACC is not going to schedule you. Well, get together and do the anytime, anywhere thing, right? Meet me in the parking lot 3:15 after school. Like if they're not going to let us do it, we'll do it ourselves. Can't do it. Can't do it. I'm pivoting there and I'm changing based on further thought because it's too important to keep your non-conference win percentage high as a conference to sign up for a guaranteed 50%. Right? If State and Carolina said the league isn't doing it, we will play, meaning State is saying this, we will play at your place. If you agree to playing at our place in the non-conference, the next time we're not variable partners, you can't do it because it's too bad for net ranking to have, a team, the ACC, sign up for an ACC team losing, which when you play each other, that's 100%, right? Somebody will lose. You need to be up well over 80, 90%, right? You need to be near 90% win percentage in the non-conference as a conference. So it's awful. It's awful. And I feel bad for the students. And I'm not talking players, but I am feeling bad for them. I feel bad for the students. The most raucous environment are the rivalry games, and you might not get one. You might not get one. Imagine that 10 years from now, right? In a cubicle in downtown Charlotte. A UNC fan, a UNC alum, right, grinding their way up the corporate ladder, and someone goes, "Oh, you went to UNC? No way. How were they against State when you played?" Because they're a State fan, right? Because they're a State grad. Well, my freshman year they did pretty well. And then I only saw them play one other time because they didn't come my sophomore or senior year because we weren't variable partners. So I only remember when they visited my junior year. It's like, what? No, but I do remember that classic game where they beat I don't know, Pitt for the second time that year at home. It was a real fun one. They won by 19. No, they're not going to remember that.
I know Wake Forest this upcoming year only has NC State coming to them. They have to come play all 3 teams out here in the Triangle, and the only team that's going out there is NC State.
And that's because they're a protected partner. So yeah, they're the primary partners. So State and Wake will play home and away every year. So they're literally everything that is a possibility, everything that is like a non-guarantee, they're going on the road to the Triangle. State's not going west of Dallas because they play Stanford in Raleigh, and then they don't play Cal. And they play at SMU, so that's the furthest they go. Like, the schedule makes so little sense. So little sense. Protect the rivalries. Protect the rivalries. I feel like we need like a Braveheart speech.